talk. So, how can pharma promote sustainability in drug manufacturing?
Yeah, so pharma promotes sustainability. You're talking about what you call in terms of the after product, after making the
Yes,
medicines, then the
during
sustainability.
the
Yeah, so pharma actually can promote in many ways. The sustainable is first to make anything, whatever drug we are making. First of all, we should make them in a clear way, like uh, without polluting and this one. So the any drug discovery process starts with the synthesis of a molecules, right? So that is what we start with. So we can even start with that. So okay, when you make a molecule, of course, any chemical, any molecule, any small molecule is a chemical reaction made out of chemical reaction, and generally the public views chemistry as a polluting agent, right? So, in terms of making them pollution free. So, if your question is about sustainable in terms of the method, the energy
yes,
saving, and other things, and pollution control, all those things. So, we can make many of the process what we are making, where we can make innovative ways, where we can devise new chemical reactions, where we don't use a lot of polluting chemicals. Like the reactions can be done by enzymes, green chemistry, what we call. So when we do use green chemistry agent, so that turns into the economic sense, because you are first of all using everything which is not at all, which is reducing your effluent cost, whatever coming out of your factory. So treatment of that to make it non-pollutant, that's a cost lot of money. So by doing this, by finding a method where you reduce the cost of effluents, treatment of effluents, so that is something the major effect, right? And also sustainable. If you are asking about sustainable in terms of mass production, the availability of drugs for everybody, right? If you mean by that sustainable, then the everything whatever we design in the pharma, right, it has to be keeping in mind where there is no shortage. Whatever we produce in such a way that there is no shortage. We understand the demands, so our methods of production should be modernized, right? And also we can increase the shelf life of our drug molecules by putting into correct excipients and correct formulations. And when you are making it in that way, so that makes it also sustainable for many people can afford it, because any drug which is shelf life is longer, so you don't have a scarcity. One of the problem here now what we face is the scarcity of drugs. Some of the oncology drugs are not available because they are not produced, and they are not what you call little bit they produce, then the manufacturing method is stopped, or there are very few companies, one company closes. So if you have a better methods, better stock, better shelf life, that also can be like. So in short, if you want to say, you make your manufacturing methods very clean and green, and innovative methods, so that it can be meeting the demand of the people and making it sustainable.
so does that use resources and how can we achieve it?
So resources, that's what the resources can be. So like we are using for the now very vehicle is going with electricity,
Right.
right? Lithium ion batteries and things like that, right? So in the same way, in drug manufacturing also, we can use a lot of energy. So many of the companies like they have started using solar energy, right? Solar energy for producing electricity. So you could have seen that even we started using in the households, right, to produce our own, run our general equipments. So even in pharma companies, now we can actually produce electricity in such a level, right? So that you can, you need not depend on the electricity produced by coal or water, wind energy, whatever it is. So there can be multiple methods like the resources, whatever we are using, and automations like like many of the things like manual what we are doing, that can be made now in automation, integrating the modern technology, right? So like mainly automation, right? So when you are doing a process start to end, it can be machine can take care. Why I am telling, we are not replacing the human resources for that, but there are certain things humans cannot handle. For example, if there is a very toxic gas is coming, potassium cyanide we are using for a process, so that can be handled by a machine. It can be handled, so the resources can be safe and other things. So like that, you have to attend like we have to adopt the modern technologies. That's my point of view. Right? Yeah.
So just one more question.
Please.
How can we collaborate academia and industry together effectively?
There are ways, like many people pointed out morning, right?
Yeah.
So the mandate of academia is to produce quality students. Okay. The mandate of industry is to produce things which are demanded by the people and the society, right? So there are two different ways. So we don't in industry we don't innovate in us many times. Innovations are there, but fundamental research we don't do. Anything exploratory, it's not normally taken in industry. So the academia, they are free to do it. So even you can study a simple things and write a paper on that. So, but that doesn't translate to industry immediately. But industry works on like ultimately the revenue, right? So we need to generate revenue, whatever our ideas are. So that has to convert into a revenue for industry. So collaborating with the basic fundamental principles. This is not yet come in India, but if you go to other countries, as many people pointed out, that many of the innovations started from academia. So okay, they take a particular protein, they study that, they study the structure of the protein, which we don't do it in industry, to be frank. So we don't take a protein, which is there's no this is drug is available, but academia will take it. They study what is the structure of the protein, then what is the where it binds, what's the natural binder for that, what is the function of the protein, what is the connection between that protein and the disease. Okay, so these are the things academia can do much better. So once they publish, then after 5 to 6 years, the industry gets interested. Many people started studying things. So that is where the collaboration starts. In many countries outside India, these researchers are funded by industry. Even though they are basic, the basic science is funded by the industries. But in India, it's very, very rare. Most of us, we are dependent on government funding in academia. So, but now recently with BIRAC and other things, there are a lot of chances are there. So we can collaborate. So collaboration in the sense where there is not of financial implication and financial constraints, where for example artificial intelligence. So we can do anybody doing computational docking, anybody is doing any theoretical kind of work, academics. So those kind of things industry can outsource and they can collaborate, and also there can be exchange of ideas and other things. That scenario is now changing, and many times the academic mandate is to publish papers, but industry is to publish patents. So these two don't match. There can be. So as I told that, no, like currently there is a lot of things have opened up where people are started collaborating, especially people with orthogonal experience, expertise. Right, I am a medicinal chemist. Suppose another biologist is there in academic lab, and they have the advantage of academic lab is they have many instruments. The small institutes don't have, but bigger universities like IITs and IISc or some NIPERs, they do have everything what we need to test a molecule in the biology. They do have everything to make a formulation. For example, if you have a medicine, you want to make an extended release tablet. Academic institutes do have all those facilities where a small SMEs don't have. So that's where collaboration can start. So that is opened up. Myself personally, I collaborate with many academicians, and we can do well provided everybody understands and without expecting any benefits immediately, financial benefits. If we start working in collaborative mode, that is something which can be a start. So because if they say I'm doing the work, I should be getting first preference, or we should get first preference. That is not what's in industry. Industry, every team player is the same. Even if you move one pin to here to there, that's also contribution like that. So there is no big contribution, small contribution. Ultimately, somebody will be recognized, but everybody's contribution is important. Like that, if you consider academic industry also collaboration like that, and government also has given a lot of schemes now. So there are a lot of projects we can write together. So with which there can be a lot of scope. So we can improve that. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
We're really glad to have you.
Yeah.